Okay.
Today, Monday, May 7th of 2018, call this meeting to order. I want to welcome our new board member, Mr. Charles Chuck Hill. He's a public member, and I now want Miss Sandy to roll call the meeting.
Yes. Mr. Warren.
Present.
Mr. Sims.
Present.
Ms. Jacobs.
Present.
Mr. Lockett.
Present.
Mr. Henderson. Mr. Hill.
Present.
All right, you have a quorum.
Is there any public comment on today's agenda? Oh, yeah. All right, next item is I need approval of the minutes
So moved.
from
And I'll
March
second.
5th, 2018,
I'll
the last
second.
board meeting. I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion about those minutes? Any further, anybody if I can get my words out today, we'd be great. Anybody opposed? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We got a attorney report, investigative report, pursuant LARS 4217A, LARS 4217A4, and or LARS 4217A10. I need a motion to go into executive session.
I'd like to move that we go into executive session.
Second.
Second. Ms. Sandy, will you roll call it,
Yes,
please?
Ms. Jacobs.
Yes.
Mr. Lockett.
Yes.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Warren.
Yes.
All right, we are in executive session.
Executive session.
All right, yes, ma'am.
I'd like to make a motion that we come out of executive session.
Second.
Sandy, can you roll call?
Yes, sir. Ms. Jacobs.
Yes.
Mr. Lockett.
Yes.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Warren.
Yep.
All right, we are back in regular session.
Motion passes. Ms. Anna Dow has a report for us.
Yes, with regard to a hearing scheduled for today, you'll notice at the end of your agenda, we had a request to postpone the hearing. It was filed on March 27th. According to Mr. Brown, who signed the letter, he says, "I am unable to attend the hearing on that date because I will be hospitalized at that time and my discharge date is unknown." He asked that we schedule his hearing subsequent to his hospital discharge. At this time, I'm providing a copy of this letter to everyone for your, so that you can see that he's stating that he is still hospitalized. When I checked last week with his family, I am told that he is still hospitalized. I'm also told that his business has been shut down. That's Brown's Auction. The website is showing that it's been disabled, and that basically we can find no evidence that he is currently involved in the auction business in any way. With regard to that also, on May 1st, 2018, and I actually did not receive that until after May 1st, a few days after that, I received a letter that was sent to me by C. Lindsey Brown on behalf of Jacob Brown. Mr. Brown attached a power of attorney to this letter stating that it says specifically, "Please be advised that Jacob Brown has decided to surrender his license to conduct auctions in the state of Louisiana, license number 1421. He understands that he may not call auctions or otherwise conducting the auction business in the state of Louisiana as of the effective date of this letter. Jacob understands that surrender of his license means that he is in the same position as an unlicensed individual. Jacob's decision to surrender his auctioneer's license has been prompted by medical issues that have had debilitating effects on his decision-making, performance, and his general mental condition. Jacob understands and comprehends the language, meaning, and terms and effect of this letter of surrender. He has made his decision knowingly and voluntarily. Attached to this letter is a signed and executed power of attorney granting the authority to submit this letter of surrender on behalf of Jacob Brown, principal. It's signed sincerely, Lindsey Brown, on behalf of Jacob Brown. I'm providing a copy of this letter and attached power of attorney to the board with regard to this matter.
Thank you.
Now, because of issues with regard to how recently I received this, as well as the validity of the relinquishment of a license through power of attorney, I would request that the board go ahead and postpone the hearing originally scheduled for today until our next scheduled meeting and continue the order that was signed earlier as a result of the postponement in March. Basically suspending his license until such time as a hearing may be had. I don't think he has any objection because he says here he understands that he cannot conduct auctions or do any auction business in the state of Louisiana.
I'd like to make a motion that the hearing be postponed.
I'll second.
With the other caveat
Right.
that he cannot, we will extend the order that was granted earlier, that he cannot be involved in the auction business or call auctions.
Do we need to notify any other states?
We have notified Texas of the pending,
Is he licensed anywhere else that we know of?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
That Texas is the only state. We understand that there have been complaints filed in Texas. We do not, at this present time, know the outcome of those complaints in Texas.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
You want a roll call it?
Sure. Let's roll call it.
All right. Ms. Jacobs?
Yes.
Mr. Lockett?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes. All right.
That is all.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Keep forgetting to hit that hand. All right, our next item on the agenda is apprentice auctioneer applicant, Yvette M. Mutes, sorry. Supervisor Bradley Mutes, I'm assuming they're related. And I want to welcome them for joining us today for our board meeting. They're sitting right there. I need a motion to approve that, or any
I'd like to make a
discussion, any
motion
questions?
to approve apprentice auctioneer Yvette Mutes.
I'll second.
Second. Any further discussion about it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. Miss Sandy, will you please give Yvette her apprentice license information?
Hey, Bradley.
Mayor, stuff for you and stuff for you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. It's an open meeting, so you're welcome to stay. You're also welcome to hit the road and go eat something good on your way home.
Hey, Bradley, y'all gonna get along for a year?
We will, yes.
Yes, would you like to have a picture with the board? Sure. She'd like to have a picture with the board.
Oh, okay.
This is our first picture.
Yeah, I've never had
Hey,
that.
look, it's a big thing for me. I'm trying to get real into social media and everything.
Come on, glasses on.
I gotta post all that stuff now.
Okay. All right.
I don't know where
Yeah, I guess this is wrong.
This ain't damn blackmail, is it?
Jake, in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah, he clears your hat. All right, y'all ready? 1, 2, 3.
Interesting
I'll
person.
take a couple.
Not too sure about that one either.
Okay.
Thank you.
congratulations. Look.
Thank
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nice to finally meet you guys.
Yes, you as well. It's always nice to put a face with a name.
Yeah, definitely. I've been talking to Yvette on the phone, I think since I was hired.
You have a question?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, congratulations.
Bye.
All right, the next item on the agenda is going to be tested auctioneer applicants. Both applications here are complete. We have a William Paul Gaspard and a Lathan
Last one.
Lacion. I need a motion to approve both.
I'd like to make a motion to approve of Mr. William Gaspard and Mr. Lathan Lasson.
Lacion. Second that.
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion about these? All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion passes. The next is going to be a reciprocal auctioneer applicants. And we're going to do these individually. There's several of them. I have a Johnny Wright. Temp license was granted back on April 4th, but the application is complete.
Move that he be granted a license.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. Miss Kimberly Sims, is a reinstatement. She last renewed in 2016. Her application is complete as well.
Is she from Monroe?
She is.
Is her bonds up?
Yes, sir. It's current through the end of 2018.
Move if she granted a license.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? Motion passes. The next will be Mr. Leonard Davis. He's a reinstatement as well from 2016 was the last time he was renewed. And it is pending receipt of his bond.
Move he be granted a license pending receipt of bond.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. Mr. Rick Duffy. Last renewal, he's a reinstatement, is from 2012. It is pending receipt of the originals.
Because he emailed everything over on Friday morning.
Gotcha.
Where is he from?
He's from Miami, Florida. He's the owner of Killer Auctions, which is under the business applicants.
Move he be granted a license pending originals and original bonds.
And I second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. Next will be auction business applications. We're going to do these individually as well. Sinla Auction House, I say that correctly, LLC?
Sinla.
Sinla?
Like Central Louisiana.
Okay,
Sinla.
that makes sense now. Forgive me. Application is complete.
Hadn't we had this one before?
No, sir.
I need a motion.
Make a motion that we grant Sinla Auction House license to operate.
And I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. B and H auction. The application is complete. Need a motion to approve.
Move to grant him a license.
And I second.
All those in favor? Is there any
Aye.
further discussion? Motion passes. The next is going to be Anybody Else Auctions, LLC. Now, this is going to be pending receipt of the originals.
Where are they from?
I'm sorry. I thought I knew that off the top of my head, but I need to check and just make sure.
Does it match?
I think they're Monroe area. Let me make sure. Yes, sir, Monroe.
Okay.
And J.L. Kane is part owner in the business.
Who
With
is?
J.L. Kane, he is a licensed auctioneer, and he's gone into business with a lady named Rebecca Gibson. So this is their business.
Need a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that Anybody Else Auctions be granted a license pending a receipt of the originals.
Rebecca who?
Gibson.
And second.
Second.
Any further discussion about it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. The next will be the previously mentioned Killer Auctions. They are a reinstatement. Their last renewal was 2012. And again, this is pending receipt of the originals. They're coming from Miami.
I move that Killer Auctions be reinstated pending receipt of the originals.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I guess. Approval of current financials.
I move that the current financials be accepted.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. We need to approve the fiscal budget for 2018 and 19.
I move that
This is the proposed budget, and it was created based on the current year's numbers. Because this fiscal year doesn't end until June 30th of the current year. I need a motion to accept the proposed budget with Sandy being allowed to make minor adjustments so it matches what the law requires.
And I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
Second. Is there any further discussion about the fiscal budget? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes.
Do we need to make her a motion to do whatever she needs to do to the current year's budget, balance it out, just move whatever?
No,
I don't think there's going to be any, there won't be any overages. that will
Won't be no overage or underage?
Well, we don't have to approve you don't have to approve underages, if you want to call them that. But only if we go over budget and we look fine.
How much money we got? How much surplus money we got?
I don't know exactly what you mean by surplus money. I mean, we have two bank accounts.
How
One
much
has-
money we got in the combined bank
In the
account?
combined bank accounts, we're at about $300,000.
Okay.
The next item is going to be professional services contract approvals. We have Ms. Anna Dow up for $20,000.
Got enough, Anna?
I move that Anna Dow's professional service contract be approved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes.
I am going to need signatures before we leave.
Yes.
Okay.
To be like an autograph session.
Yes, sir, please, for two contracts when we're done.
LA Department of Justice for $10,000. These are our hearing officers' contract with the AG office.
Move to.
And I move that they be approved.
Second.
Need lawyers.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Any opposition?
Aye.
That motion passes. Now, the next item on the agenda are our officer elections. We need to elect a vice chairman and a secretary/treasurer.
Because he has done such a great job, and he's always here, I'd like to nominate that James Sims be reappointed as vice chairman, if in fact he would accept that appointment.
I second it if in fact wants to accept that appointment.
Do you in fact want to accept that
I'll
appointment?
accept.
All right, any further discussion about that one? All right, now we need a secretary-treasurer.
Since this lady's done such a fabulous job over the years, I move that Miss Darlene Jacobs be elected secretary-treasurer by acclamation, since she does such a tremendous job with
How about
everything.
that?
I second that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Any further discussion about that? All those in favor of both of these appointments? Say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. The next meeting date will be July the 9th, 2018. See you then. Y'all have a good day. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Motion
adjourn.
to adjourn, not agenda. Thank
We
you.
have to sign
Motion second.
your professional contract.
Party over.
I think
Do we have-
it's not all of us. It's just you with
No,
the
sir,
chair.
I need
Need witnesses.
I need Jacob and one additional witness, and that's all I need.